Hey guys, welcome back to Eric's Hobby Workshop. I'm in the middle of moving studios right now, so it really got me thinking about all this stuff I have and what is actually essential, which really ties in nicely with a question I get all the time, which is what would I recommend as tools for an absolute beginner to get started, to have the right implements to craft whatever they want and build things similar to the other things that I show you how to do on this channel. And so today I'm going to take you through my essential crafting tools. First things first, you need a mechanical pencil, like this one here. Very basic, nothing fancy, but if we're doing little miniature things, we want a little miniature lead so we can get some nice little precise lines. Very simple, very easy. Get a couple of these, hide them all over your house, and you'll never lose one. Or if you do, you'll have extras. Next up, you need a ruler. This one here is plastic. That's not bad. Perfectly acceptable. You get these in like a cheap math set or something like that. Rulers obviously for measuring and for drawing straight lines. I actually prefer a metal ruler because if you're running an Xacto blade along the ruler, you don't want to shave a bit of plastic off the edge of your plastic ruler. This one's nice because it also has a cork back, which helps it grip whatever surface you're working on so it doesn't slide. But sometimes I like to turn it over and put the metal side down because the cork creates a little bit of clearance against whatever you're measuring, and this just allows you to get nice and flush. But a metal ruler, really nice piece. Next up, we're gonna go with hobby SNIPS. These here I got at a craft shop, pretty cheap, $7, something like that. By the way, I'm going to try to put links for similar products to everything that I have for these down in the description below, so if you want to pick up your own set of beginner tools, then by all means, go down in the links, check that out, kick back a little something to the channel and help out, which is always cool. So these ones are specifically hobby SNIPS. I got these at a hobby shop, and they're great. They're sharp, they're powerful, and cut through plastic, bits of wood like coffee stir sticks, everything that you need from that perspective. Even thin gauges of wire you can do on this, but anything a little bit thicker, like thicker than a pencil lead, you're gonna want heavier duty pair of SNIPS, but these are really good. But before I used these for a really long time, I got away with using these, this is just from like a Shoppers Drug Mart, like a pharmacy, something like that. And these are cuticle trimmers. And as you can see, these ones have like a little floral pattern, pretty cute. So these are perfectly acceptable if you're just getting started. You can get these from even dollar stores, I think, sometimes as cheap as $1. But they're really handy. They've got a nice little sharp tip at the end, and the way the blades taper down allows you to get nice precise cuts at a small level. So those are nice. Next, of course, is the hobby knife. Hobby knife is super crucial for a whole ton of cutting applications. I like to use these OLFA ones with the retractable blade. It's not really a tongue twister, but sometimes we just struggle with the little things, don't we? So yeah, these nice yellow beauties with this hot banana yellow. What am I talking about? But yeah, this is a nice one. Blade can come out pretty far, which is good if you're cutting through something like foam and you need to make a long, smooth cut. That's always good. The blade is pretty easy to change, and I recommend buying extra blades so you can change them often, because there's nothing better than a nice sharp blade to get you some nice clean cuts. So that's wicked. But this is only one of the 2 hobby blades I would recommend getting. I also recommend you get this type here, which is the ones with a bit of a finer tip. And this is for cutting tiny precision things. If you're making miniatures and miniature buildings and things like that, you're gonna have times when you want more precision than that other type of blade can get you. But you definitely don't want to do all your cutting with one of these little blades, because that's like, I don't know, shoveling your driveway with a teaspoon or something like that. Like, you need the right tools for the right job, so I recommend 2 types of knives, because then you can never go wrong. So next up, of course, is the glue gun. This is my favorite glue gun. Surebonder PPK. It's not called the PPK, it's a Surebonder. It's a dual temperature glue gun. I really like, this is the favorite one of all the glue guns I've tried. It's pretty inexpensive too. I think it's like $7. Again, I'll put a link down below. But the cool thing about dual temperature is you can use it for a variety of applications. Most of the time, if I'm dealing with a material that doesn't melt, like paper or cardboard or wood or anything like that, and I'm using this bad boy, I put it on the high temperature because it gives you a little bit of a longer work time. It allows you to squish the glue down when it's still hot and wet and get a nice bond before it dries. But sometimes you're working with more delicate materials, and that's when you want to be able to switch to a low temperature so you can glue foam or any sort of thing that might melt. So yeah, I recommend this one strongly. It comes with these mini gauge glue sticks. Buy a ton of those. You'd be shocked how many you use in certain projects. But this is my recommendation. Sure and reliable. Trustworthy, reliable, nice. SureBonder. This is not sponsored by SureBonder, by the way, but it's a good product. And then we have this. This is kitchen snips. Not quite scissors, not quite shears, just something in between. Kind of a heavy duty scissors. And these are nice because they can cut through cardstock, they can cut through your cereal board, they can cut through corrugated cardboard in a pinch. Again, pretty cheap if you get them in the right place. They last forever. They've got a nice heft to them, which I always like. And I recommend you get 2 pairs of these, one for your kitchen and one for your crafting area. Because if you don't have 2, you're going to be constantly looking for them when you're in the kitchen, and they'll be in your crafting area, or you'll be constantly looking for them in the crafting area when you're in the kitchen. And it's just better to have 2, you know, avoid cross-contamination and stuff like that way as well, which is always cool. And last but not least is this thing here, which is a self-healing cutting mat. Oh, I'm sitting on it. Alright, and last but not least is this here, which is a self-healing cutting mat. This gray one here, you can see in the video, is the same thing, but bigger. This big one's about 60 bucks, but you can get these little ones for maybe $12 or something like that. You just need a small surface to get started on. I really like having one that covers basically my whole desk, because then you just can't go wrong. But these things are awesome because otherwise you're going to damage whatever surface is underneath what you're cutting with all these beautiful cutting tools that I just mentioned. So definitely invest in one of these. They last a really, really long time. They can take a lot of abuse. This one, as you can see, is pretty dirty because it's one I retired a while ago, but you can clean them with isopropyl alcohol, or if you really want, you can use acetone, but acetone will rub off the grid pattern in the background, which can be quite handy. Sometimes when you're building, it's easy to just use the grid pattern to line up right angles and things like that. So this thing is really an essential tool for a beginner to an expert. Everybody needs to use these things. They're really tremendous. So there you have it, guys. Those are my essential crafting tools for a beginner. If you know somebody who's just getting started in the hobby, send them this video and set them on a good course to have a ton of scratch building, crafting, good times from now until forever. Yeah, great. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any beginner tools that you can't live without, because I'd like to hear about it. And let me know if you like this sort of video, and we'll see you next time on Eric's Hobby Workshop.